During pre-production, I used a website called Blogger to post all my research on the horror genre. This was very useful to me as I could keep all my work organised and stored in a safe place, so I could refer back to it when I needed to. It helped me to segment my work into specific categories, such as research and planning, so it was really useful as I knew exactly where to look if I needed to look back at something. I did come across some difficulties though, as I have never used a website like Blogger before, so creating the tabs for specific areas was quite a struggle, but I managed to figure it out. To create my research posts, I used some software called Keynote, which is Apple's version of PowerPoint. This was really easy for me to use as I've had previous experience with it, so I was able to get the tasks done with no problem. During the planning stage of our production, our group created an online group chat through Facebook, which we communicated ideas on through our phones. This was great as we were constantly sharing ideas outside of lesson time, which helped perfect our film and also brought the team closer together. During the main production, we used various media technologies. First of all, we used my iPhone 6 to record the majority of our film, as I believed it was the best camera we had, as it films in 1080p at 60 FPS. This creates a clear picture and smooth movement because of the high amount of frames per second. We also used my MacBook Pro camera when filming the Skype dialogue, as we wanted a realistic picture, and Skype is quite low quality, filming at 720p, so it added to the realism. However, we did come across a few problems, the main one being the focus, as it would momentarily come out of focus at random stages, which was frustrating as we had to reshoot several scenes in the hope it wouldn't happen again. We used my tripod for steady shots, which was very easy to use as I've had previous experience with it, so I knew how to adjust it to suit us best. I also have an iPhone mount for it, which you simply clip on, and it was extremely useful to use as we could easily take it on and off when we needed to. I also used a selfie stick when filming some freehand shots, as it was much steadier than just holding the camera. However, I would have preferred to use a tripod dolly for the tracking shots as it would have looked much steadier, but we didn't have one, so the selfie stick was the next best thing. I edited the entire film on my MacBook Pro using Final Cut Pro. It was easy to import the video files into the editing software, as I could just plug my phone into my laptop and drag and drop them into the project for me to start editing straight away. This was a fairly easy process for me as I've had experience with the software before, but editing a horror movie made me learn a few more things. I learned how to effectively adjust the saturation and exposure on lighter shots to make them look darker to suit the conventions of the horror genre. I also learned that the speed of editing has to be a lot longer in horror films as it creates tension and suspense, and if you look at my first draft compared to the completed product, you can see the speed of editing has slowed down. The sound was definitely the toughest aspect of the editing process. I used YouTube to research hundreds of soundtracks just to find the perfect one to fit what I was looking for. Most of the videos on YouTube are around the hour mark, so I had to sit through hundreds of videos just skipping through areas of the soundtrack to find the perfect sound for our horror film. To download and import the sound, I used a website called YouTube to MP3 Converter, which allowed me to copy and paste the URL of the video and it would download just the audio for me, so I could easily drag and drop the file into the film and find the specific 1 to 2 minute section that fitted best with our production. I tried numerous sounds and eventually found what I thought was effective. Sometimes it ended up being 2 soundtracks playing at the same time, so I had to learn how to mix sound as well, which was another tough task for me as it had to seem natural. In my first cut, our audience focus group picked up on some bad sound mixing, so I had to really focus on this, and I believe I did a good job in the end. We distributed our horror film through the most popular video sharing platform in the world in order to reach a global audience. I uploaded our production to YouTube through my account and included popular words in the title to attract a global audience. For example, simple words such as horror movie can boost the video higher in the website when people search for a related video. It seems to be working well as we're at 360 views in about 2 months, which I see as a success as I had no previous fan base. Also, something really nice to see was a big short film channel on YouTube saw and commented on our film, giving their praises on our production, which means this website has helped our video reach a fairly well-known channel as they have 10,000 subscribers.